Greetings, my name is Rob Gough, and I'm chatting with some folks about Rick Hodge's Mafia Mastermind Skype group. Feel free to listen in, at least to my end of the conversation. Skype is it's free software, so it doesn't cost anything to download this software. You can download it from www.skype.com. Skype is spelled S-K-Y-P-E. It's free software, and it supports chat that I was just talking about. It supports video conference calls, free, and voice calls. You can call another Skype phone number, and it doesn't cost you anything. So you're using your PC to communicate over the internet without paying for any telephone charges. Yes, Skype does also support an interface with the regular telephone system, so you can purchase plans from Skype that enable you to make calls to non-Skype numbers, to regular telephones, as well as to receive calls from regular telephones. Well, if you're going to do video calls, the question is, what hardware do you need? If you're going to be doing video calls, then you need to have a video camera. If you're going to be chatting through a regular laptop, most laptops come with built-in video cameras as well as built-in microphones, and that's all you really need. Many of us do wear headsets for a couple of reasons. For example, you just get better sound, for one. For two, if you're participating in some webinars, sometimes you'll get feedback or you hear echoing kind of effect if you don't use a headset, because the microphone picks up the sound coming out of the speakers, and that can cause feedback. But you really don't need to have a headset and a microphone setup like this. But it doesn't hurt if that's something you're going to be getting into. For the Rick Hodge's Mafia Mastermind Skype group, you don't need any additional hardware. You could do just chat, which is texting. So as long as you have the keyboard and the PC, you can participate just fine. You don't need anything special. You don't get into this type of hardware unless you're making videos or making, voice phone calls. Yes, that's true. One of the interesting things about the chat software is that the users, first of all, you may not know what chat software is. Chat software, and if you remember instant messaging software, like AOL used to have instant messaging software, a panel comes up on your screen and you can see the name of someone that you're connected to, and they type something. And you can have a private Skype chat session going on, just you and one other, or you can have a group participating, in which case anybody who types something into the chat group, their message shows up next to their name. And anybody who responds to that, you see their name and what their response is. And yeah, Rick's first Skype group is called Offline Consulting Success. And there's over 250 members in that group, and sometimes there's multiple conversations going on at the same time, and it can be a little tough to follow. Yes, and the members in that group, that was his first group, and it kind of proved the concept of getting together a mastermind. It's the Mafia Mastermind Skype group. So they're using Skype, and it's a group of people, and the mastermind concept is based on the concept that two heads are better than one, or in this case 200 heads are better than one. And you have to balance that with too many cooks spoil the broth type of mentality. But for the most part, the value is the people that participate in Rick's Mafia Mastermind Skype groups are some of the really best producers of internet marketing software out there. And I shouldn't limit it to just software. There's There's all kinds of services and techniques that support internet marketing and supports offline marketers who use these tools to enable their customers who are offline to increase their sales. So there's a variety of different things going on here. Yeah. And why do these big name people, why are they found here? One, they get feedback, immediate feedback from other people who are knowledgeable on these subject lines of what's effective, what sounds good, what could be made better. Sometimes they're just looking for resources. You know, someone's looking for a virtual assistant to help with something. Just put it out there. Does anybody know? And with a couple hundred people on there, the odds are somebody's going to know something about what you need. There's always references going on to other types of software, other types of solutions, other links, where certain products can be found, you know, where expertise can be found. And these big namers, they're there because they're benefiting from this. And there's a lot of beginners in here as well. They're benefiting from this. The Mafia group includes WordPress, Skype Mafia, List Building Mafia, Blog Traffic Mafia Mastermind, and Offline Mastermind. Now, some of these groups are large. You know, like I said, the original group's over 250 members. Some of these are more down, like at around 25. They're much more intimate in size, and they're much more specialized. You know, for example, if you know your concern is list building, there's a group just for list building. If it's blog traffic, there's a group just for blog traffic. Yeah, about the name Mafia. We know Mafia is organized crime. However, these guys are all white hat. This is not hackers, groups, or you know, any of that kind of stuff. There's no black hat stuff going on here. This is all white hat. These are all professionals. These people have businesses, and it is extremely important to them that they follow all of the appropriate terms and conditions involved in any group that they're in or software that they're developing. For example, if you're developing software that runs on Facebook, you have to be very aware of Facebook's terms and conditions. And if you're suggesting something, folks in here will point out if they think it's inappropriate. And sometimes it's just a matter of ethics. And these people are not bashful about pointing out when they think there's something ethically unclear about a tactic that someone is discussing. Yeah, that's correct. So it's available. These groups are available through different avenues. I've seen some of the products that some of these folks are producing and selling online. You can get a membership in one or more of these Skype groups through purchasing one of those products. And they're all very reasonably priced, you know, like $7 a month kind of thing. Where else can you get access to hundreds of experts and advice and brainstorming, masterminding for $7? It's great. Yeah, and Rick has a number of different ways that he's been making these groups available. Now, Rick Hodge. Let me tell you what his Skype address is. When you get Skype, you can search for different people, and sometimes it helps to know what name they actually use on Skype. So Rick Hodge, his Skype ID is RICK.HODGE2. So Rick.Hodge2. And he's posted his phone number numerous times, so I'm going to give his phone number here. If you've got questions for him, by all means, give him a call. He can be reached at 724-263-8812. So that's a good rundown of Rick Hodge's Mafia Mastermind Skype groups. Tremendous value and benefit to everybody that gets involved. Even folks who are new are encouraged to participate in the chat sessions. You learn more by participating. If you're uncomfortable with that initially and you just want to be what's called a lurker for a while, someone that's monitoring the conversations that are going on without participating, feel free to lurk until you're comfortable joining. But always feel welcome to join. All right? So that's it. That's the rundown on Rick Hodge's Mafia Mastermind Skype groups. Look into it. You'll be glad you did.